Audio Jungle.
How's everybody doing? Let me switch my screen over. Here we go. How's everybody doing? Love you guys. Sorry I'm late, but fashionably late, right? I'm always late. I had to get Levi taken out. He had to take his potty. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Jam-packed freaking show. I might have 2 top 10s tonight. I might have 2 top 10s. We will see. In Jafar's voice. Jafar, oh my God. Remember they made a sequel to Aladdin? See, we're jumping right into it. And it was The Return of Jafar. And I remember, did you guys get the big VHS? Those VHS boxes were like that long. Yeah, good times. Good times. The Return of Jafar. I watched it once, I think. My kids were real little at the time, but the first Aladdin was really great. Polly, what's up, Polly? How are you doing? Hugh Patrick. Not JPEG, Jamie Webster. Thank you, Jamie, for forgive. I love forgiveness. Nuclear Fusion, Jay Dizla. Hope I'm saying that right. Blu-ray Addict. What's up? Rosalia. How you doing, Rosalia? Mike Johnston. Chris Snyder. What's up, brother? Mike Cinema. Jason, Born Slippy. Chester. He said, yeah, Chester will not be able to tune in, but it's always nice to have him here. Yeah, I'll take as much Chester as I can get, okay, guys? I'll take as much Chester as I can get, right? Yeah, Nicholas Vincent, what's up, brother? Ryan Swayze. Hope you guys can hear me. Wouldn't it suck? Because we've done this a few times where I'm talking and you're like, you idiot, I can't hear you. But I think you can hear me because I call it a hear meter. Yeah, a hear meter. Yeah. So, first thing I wanted to say, because I never talk about like documentaries. Do you guys like documentaries? Especially like crazy people documentaries? Murder documentaries? Like the craziest murder documentaries. I can't... Remember on South Park, they called it informative murder porn. It's just people... It's usually like middle-aged people that are just bored with their lives. They need to watch freaking documentaries about murder. You know, they're fun though. I don't know. What is it about murder docs that just, is it like, what is it? You know, what is it that draws us in? I guess it's the car wreck, right? When you go past the car wreck, you can't help but look. You can't help but look. You feel horrible for the person involved. And maybe it's part of us is just, we're glad that it forces us to take a look at our lives and say, hey, at least it's not that bad, right? Right now, tell me a documentary, like a murder documentary that you're watching right now or you watched recently that really was like, wow, that was crazy. You know, it really just jumped out at you. Okay, I'm going to give you 3. Because I literally am in the middle of watching one right now. I can't get enough of them, guys. I love these freaking... They're great to like go to bed to at night, you know, and just kind of chill and just... And what's great is, like, you know how the story's going to end. You don't know exactly how it's going to end, but it's going to be bad, right? It always starts off nice. It's sunny outside. You know, birds are singing. And then with each episode, and usually there's like 4 episodes in these things, it just whoa, holy shit. Tommy Lee Jones, dude, man. He says, doing greatly, the firefighter massacre in Halloween Kills will always be my favorite moment of the Halloween franchise. It's so badass. Also, look forward to the Ed Gein documentary coming out, and it should be interesting to watch. Yeah, man, you know what? I got to admit, first up, Tommy Lee Jones, dude, Thank you so much, man. That was, wow. That is, I can't even speak. It's just, I can't, that's just crazy to me. That's just so nice. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to go for an image on a thumbnail, there's nothing better than the Myers lifting up the firefighter. That's one of the greatest freaking images ever. And it is. I agree. It is one of the coolest moments in the Halloween franchise. I did a top 50 Halloween franchise moments, but this was like, I think it was before even Halloween 2018. I can't remember. But if I had to redo it, that would be probably top 3 moments for sure. I mean, when he walks out of that house, even if you hate Halloween Kills, I've never heard one person say they don't like that scene. Actually, people did get offended. Remember that, guys? They got offended because Michael killed firefighters. This fictional character killed fictional firefighters. We've crossed a line, people. We can't do it. We can't do it. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Jesus. Let me go. Let me make sure I answered all his questions, or Jesus. The Ed Gein documentary. Man, I tell you, like, do you guys have like a barometer, a line that you're like, okay, I can't go that far with the documentary. And Ed Gein, man, whoa, some of the stuff he did to his own mother. You just, you always hear these stories about the cops, those poor cops that are, they are involved and they're in the middle of it. And when they walk onto the scene, 95% of the time they say it scarred me for life, and I'll never ever forget it. It will never leave my brain, that crime scene, and that's pretty much what, like, the Ed Gein scene was like, the Dahmer scene was like. I mean, God, can you imagine walking into that Dahmer? I mean, oh my, it just, the smell, the bodies, all the you can almost like immediately think of the families affected when you see stuff like that. It's crazy. But let me tell you 3 quick documentaries, just because I felt like, I never talk about like documentaries, so I'll give you 3 ones that I've been watching recently, and one of them's like probably one of my all-time favorite documentaries of this type. Okay, the one that I'm watching right now is called, I wrote it down, Twin Flames. Yeah, there's a new one on Netflix called Twin Flames, and it's one of those like cultish type documentaries. And I think Twin Flames started on YouTube, and it's basically a matchmaking type deal, but it gets really ugly and turns into this cultish type environment. Because what they'll do is, it seems like they want the clients to find a match as soon as possible. And so they'll tell them to reach out to the last person they dated. Can you imagine, guys? Like, imagine the last person you dated, and imagine if that person was a nightmare. Like your worst freaking nightmare, and like the greatest thing you have ever done is gotten that person out of your life. Just imagine that. Now imagine you're in this Twin Flames cult, and they tell you, I need you to reach out to that person because that is your twin flame. And they just like lean into it. And even if it gets criminal, because there's a few cases in here where restraining orders were filed from the people that were on the receiving end of it, saying, hey, we're over. That's it. I don't want to date you anymore. Leave me alone. And you got this organization that you're a part of that's constantly forcing you to, you don't take no for an answer. So I think it's just people being lonely and having a sense of togetherness and feeling like they're a part of something. And when you lack that in your own life, it can get pretty scary when you are accepted by the wrong group, right? And that's kind of but it just gets worse and worse. Like every documentary, it just gets really, really bad. Really, really so bad. I'll just give you a hint. Like there's one section where let's say they're stuck with like 20 people, and they need to find matches for these people. So they force them to match with each other, and the problem was most of them were women, and so they forced all the women to get with other women, but they forced one of them to call themselves a man, which was insanely. Imagine you have your whole life, you have existed in your mind as one specific gender. And imagine somebody telling you, for the purposes of this get together, A, you might not like this person, but you have to get with them anyway. And B, you have to change your gender. You are now the man or the woman. It's just a freaking nightmare. And I can't stop watching. I can't stop watching. Jesus. It's crazy. The next one, I'll rip the Band-Aid off. This is probably my all-time favorite, murder documentary. Okay? It's called Don't Fuck with Cats. Have any of you heard of this documentary? It's been out for a few years now on Netflix. Don't Fuck with Cats. I think it's just Don't F with Cats. But this documentary was so enthralling that I watched it at least twice, maybe 3 times, because the story is absolutely insane. And it involves a troll. It involves a troll. So I see Blade Brown says, heard of it, never watched it. Mike Cinema saw it. It was crazy, wasn't it, Mike? But yeah, it starts with this troll. He doesn't show his face. He sends these troll videos of him doing bad things to cats. Okay? Unliving cats. I don't know, because I don't know if I can say the word on YouTube without getting in trouble. Okay? But cats are not breathing. All right? That's what he's doing. It's horrible. And so there's this Facebook group that you don't want the title of the documentary, Don't F with Cats. There's this Facebook group. They see the video and they make it a mission to hunt down and find this guy. And let me just tell you, it is one of the most enthralling, almost like watching a Bourne movie. It's so well edited. And by the time you get to the end of the first episode, you have leaped out of your chair and you're begging for the next episode. So I think it's only 3 episodes, but wow, it is just insane. It is just, and it gets, you're thinking in your mind, can it get any crazier? It does. It just keeps getting crazier and crazier and crazier. I'll give you a hint. The movie Basic Instinct is a source of inspiration in the documentary to the killer. So, yeah. But, it starts with animals, and then it ends up being a person. Or people. I don't want to spoil anything that is murdered. Okay? And it's a really crazy documentary. I can't believe shit like this happens. And it goes across nationwide. The killer, they find out that he was in the public eye, he was starving for fame, right? He would do anything to become famous. So yeah, but he did the wrong thing to become famous. But it's really great. It's really great. Not JPEG. How would you make a horror version of Ninja Turtles? You know what? And maybe it's my age, because I know a lot of you guys are children of the 90s. That's when you were little and you loved Ninja Turtles. I was a teenager in the 80s. So I never really gravitated towards Ninja Turtles. I was more to remember after school specials? I remember coming home from school in the 80s and turning on the TV, and there would be an after-school special, Good times, though. But, yeah, I just never got into Ninja Turtles. So, I don't know if I would respond to a horror version of Ninja Turtles, if I'm being honest. I think I like to separate animals from people. I don't like them to be joined all that much as a main character. I don't know. Maybe there's exceptions, but I'm just thinking out loud here, right? So... Ninja Turtles came out in the 80s. Yeah, but by then I was a teenager and I didn't really care about that type stuff, It had already, I had already passed it by. I guess. Is that the way I'm supposed to say it? Yeah. So yeah, the other one, I'm not going to go too deep into detail, but I told you I'd give you 3 documentaries. This one is on there right now. It's brand new, and it is really freaking good. It's 4 episodes. It's called Till Murder Do Us Part. Till Murder Do Us Part, and Soaring. Is it Soaring? Yeah, Soaring versus Haysom, and this was a case from 1985. And these 2 kids, he was 19, she was 23. And they were obsessed with each other. Like, obsessed with each other. Young love when you're that, and you get the brand new relationship. And it got so bad that murder happened. Okay? That's all I'll say. But again, enthralling. I couldn't stop watching. All right? That one is also, it just came to Netflix. Okay? Till Murder Do Us Part. That's what it's called. All right? Cool. So, got a couple news stories for you tonight. Do we want to start with the funnies again, guys? Is that what you want to do? I feel like that's what you want to do. You want to start with the funnies. Am I right? Or do you want to jump into the Danielle Harris Halloween news? You let me know. We're going to do it all tonight. So, packed show tonight. We still got freaking 1 scene, multiple kills. We're going to give you 10 of those. If I got time, we're going to do annoying characters in horror. So, yeah. Easy question right here. Blu-ray Addict, what is the best Christmas horror film? Of course, that is Black Christmas, 1974, except no substitutes. Yeah, nothing's ever going to top that. It looks like you guys want funnies. Well, hold on. Let's see. Funnies. Danielle. Uh-oh. Shit. Garbage Day, funnies. Danielle seems pretty damn happy about Halloween news and talk scared to me this week. Yeah, funnies. It's like, is it dead even right now? Give me like 3 more. The next 3 I read, that's what we're going to do, okay? Next 3 I read. So funnies. Yeah, I think we're doing funnies. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just do funnies. All right, we'll start with funnies. And then don't worry, though. We'll do the Danielle news right after, okay? We'll do the Danielle news right after. All right. And I'm going to play you, just to give you wet your whistle for the Danielle news, I'm going to play you her on the Talk Scary to Me podcast. All right. I'm going to let you hear it from her, and I'll respond to it as we go along. But it's always exciting when you hear Danielle talk about Halloween, whether you want her, you know what? And just to, we'll save it. We'll save it. I'll see. The wheels are already turning. Jesus. All right. Let's start with the funnies. Jesus. Okay. All right. Funnies. It is. Remember I can't say, I was going to cue up the music, but I can't because I got the Spotify at the exact place where I want to play Danielle. So no music during the funnies today. Okay, guys? We're going to keep it serious. All right. We're going to keep it serious. Okay. Oh yeah, we can just start right there. Despite all his rage, he's still just Nicolas Cage. And you'd watch all 4 of those. Can you imagine a band and they're all just Nicolas Cage? Or, you know what? That's actually a good idea for a band to wear Nicolas Cage masks and call themselves Cage Rage or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Dave Vanderoff, what's up, brother? How you doing? Yeah. Could they get sued though for that? Probably. But would Nicolas Cage even sue them? I think he'd think it was cool, if I'm being honest. So, yeah. Despite all his rage, he's still just Nicolas Cage. Is that song in your head right now? I can't play it on here though. Jesus. You don't play Smashing Pumpkins on any of your videos, guys, okay? Because they're a Warner Brothers artist. And they will be taken down immediately. So, yeah. Yeah, because I actually did a drum cover years ago of, I think Zero. Was it Zero by Smashing Pumpkins? What was the name of that song? I think it was Zero. But because I had, it was me and a buddy of mine, he did the guitar, Tim Hurley. And we had background music like you do when you do like music covers on YouTube. But because that music was on there, the video immediately got taken down. So I had to re-edit it, and so it's just me and his guitar, but you can still tell it's the song. Okay. Next one. By the way, guys, too, remember last week we did, we went through all the, I did like Halloween tropes, you know? You remember that? And it was like something negative about every Halloween movie. I posted that on Instagram like almost right after. And I don't know how Instagram works, but I am still getting constant likes. And I'm not like bragging or anything. I just think it's weird that a post that you did, and let's say I've posted like, 10 times since, and you know how Instagram works. You post your thing and then you get your likes for a day or two on that thing. And then, life goes on. Well, for some reason, this particular image, it got in the algorithm for Instagram or something like that. And it just keeps getting likes like over. And I've already like posted like 10 things since, but it's just constant likes. Just insane. It's weird. And I don't know how that works. Like, how do people just see that randomly, Because these are people that aren't even like following me on Instagram, most of them. So I don't know. I don't know how it works, how it gets out there, but it's kind of strange, right? So here's the next one. Rare Halloween 7. I don't know why did I call it that? Oh, this is kind of cool, actually. Jamie Lee Curtis posted this. She said this is the first time she had ever seen this photo. The first time I've ever seen that photo. And it's John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis in color while they're shooting the big showdown in Halloween. And most of the images that we see from the original Halloween are black and white. So it looks like a hard day too, right? Like that's probably at the end of a hard day, because most days on a movie shoot, you're going like 12 hours at least. So, but yeah, really cool type stuff, right? We talk Halloween year round, guys. Not just Halloween, the franchise, but just Halloween stuff, right? So, speaking of Halloween, did you guys see any cool Halloween costumes when you went out? Check this one out. That is, and it's a little dated, but that is a damn, like what movie is that from, guys? That is a damn good costume. Like very creative. Obviously somebody's in love with this franchise. But what's cool about that too is when you go back, okay, it's T2. What's cool is when you go back and watch T2 and that particular scene when, you can see that they pinched every penny. They literally made these little styrofoam bullet holes and just taped it to his chest. And it's so obvious now when you go back and watch it, But yeah. It works. It works so well. You're not overanalyzing it because you're so into the freaking plot of the movie. And, by the time... I think this is the first time they come face to face, Schwarzenegger, the T-800 and the T-1000, Robert Patrick. And man, I remember because I saw T2 in the theater opening night. And man, your heart is just pounding during that scene when they're coming in. And funny enough, little Easter egg, he's got a gun in a pack of roses, Guns N' Roses, right? And Guns N' Roses had a song on Terminator 2. But yeah, great stuff. Real quickly, we'll take a look at a high-quality image of that Terrifier 3 poster. And in true Terrifier fashion, you got art with the... Now, does Santa Claus exist in Terrifier 3? Because I have questions. Or is this just some dad that was dressed up like Santa Claus that happened to have a beard, right? You can really kind of overanalyze this. And also, look at there. At the bottom left, it looks like... Is that a body? Like legs on the ground next to the... Or is that presence? Am I like... Is that like a Rorschach type thing for me? I see two legs with some shorts and looks like they're blood, Are you guys seeing that? Or is that just presence? It's going to be bottom left of the image. I think it's a body. It does look like a body. But I like that it's not obviously a body. One might see it as presence, like a red presence stacked on top of two other presents. But it looks like a body. It's going to be nice and bloody. It's going to be a nice, fun Terrifier movie for sure. And I love that it's Christmas. Has anybody got a charger that Mike can borrow? His battery's dying. Okay. Heads on the tree. Do you guys see a head on the tree? Hold on. You know what? Let's zoom in. You want to zoom in? We're going to zoom in and we're going to see if there's a head on the tree. Oh, there's the body. Yeah. Yeah, that's a body because there's blood there. Yeah, that's definitely a body. And then... No, I don't see a head. I do see... Is that a snake? I do see a snake there. Let's look at the axe. Now, is that a reflection in the axe? It looks like a reflection of some sort. I'm not sure. Or no, maybe it's just the axe. Great artwork, though. No pun intended. But yeah. Yeah, man. I'm really excited for Terrifier 3. Okay, next one. We're sticking with Halloween costumes. Check this out, guys. And you know what? I might need to zoom in on this, too. Let me zoom in. Just so you can get the full scale of that. That is an actual house with a xenomorph that size in front of it. First off, where do you buy that? Like, can you find that online? Or is that somebody that works in the special effects department? I got questions. Neighbor, yeah, I went ahead and got the 12-foot skeleton this year. Like it, 30-foot Xeno. Hold my beer, right? Because we're seeing a lot of those 12-foot skeletons around, but I want that. I want that freaking Xeno. I want that for Christmas, actually. It'd be badass. Because, guys, tell me, pop quiz, which Alien movie is a Christmas movie? Let's see how many of you get this right. Which Alien movie is a Christmas movie? All right? All right, we'll move on to the next one while you guys think about that question. All right? Okay, this one's called Been a Year. Been a Year. Alien vs. Predator 2. Nope. Alien 3. Nope. AVP. Nope. Requiem. Nope. Prometheus. That's it. Brandon gets it. Prometheus it takes place during Christmas. There is a Christmas tree on the ship. Okay? And that one is the Alien movie that's the most, I guess, religion-based. Right? It's got a little bit of religion. Guys, yay or nay? Do you like the prequels, the Prometheus and Covenant? I need a yay or nay. How are we feeling about those? Are we a fan? I need to know because I'm obsessed with those movies. I absolutely adore both of them, and I like that Covenant doesn't feel like Prometheus. Covenant feels like a natural progression from just in feel and tone from Prometheus to Alien, because Alien's a straight up horror movie. Prometheus is pretty much a sci-fi movie with some horrific shit, but Covenant is like the nice bridge, you know. Entertainment Wizard says Prometheus is good. Covenant is a mess. Man, I've come to the conclusion. Nope, Erica's with me here. One of the few that absolutely adores Covenant. Gore the movie god, what's up, brother? How are you doing, man? Long time no see. Everybody say hi, Gore. Hell yeah. He says, I like Prometheus, but Alien Covenant has too many problems. Fassbender is the best thing in both, though. No, Gore, there's no problems with Covenant, okay? The problem is you don't like it, all right? See, Jesus, we're off to a bad foot already. God damn it, Gore. Jesus. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm eating my popcorn, and I'm loving every second of Covenant, you know? It pokes you in the eye sometimes, but I like that about an Alien movie, right? I like when movies get a little freaky, a little weird. You know? Okay, been a year. Here's the next one. Been a year. I'll never join one of these again. You get back in here. Okay. This was fun. Okay, this was fun. This is for me. All right. A year ago, when Halloween Ends came out, I got up my own ass and I posted this whole long thing in my community page about why You're Wrong and Ends is like the greatest movie ever made. I don't know what came over me. I love Ends, by the way. But yeah. So yeah, this comment, he says, get help, seriously. And I waited a year to respond to that. I said, hey, it's been a year. I got some help. Thanks for the advice. And he said, anytime. See, that's called the long. What is that? The long game. Yeah. Sometimes it's better if you wait to respond to a troll. You know, I played the long game on that one, and I think it worked in my my favor. I think it worked in my favor. All right, because he liked it. He said anytime, which is cool. A year. Tactical, right, David? Tactical. I like that word. That's a good word. Blade Brown, people got so bent over a movie. I would even say this right now. Tell me a movie that got more people butthurt than Halloween Ends. Okay? And I already know the answer. So I should say, tell me a movie besides Star Wars, any of the Star Wars movies, that got people so butthurt. There's no horror movie. There is not a single horror. Jason, Alien 3, if Alien 3 came out, I think Alien 3 would get the same amount of discourse as, say, Covenant. And I don't think that was that bad. I think a lot of people didn't, there was a lot of debate over Covenant, but people didn't give death threats. No, I never got a death threat, but it came pretty damn close. All right. I mean, I never had anybody say, I'm leaving I'm unsubscribing your channel immediately, and I hate you with all my freaking bloody heart. Only Halloween Ends, for some reason, had that effect on people. It was the weirdest thing, and I still don't understand it. Let's just say I hated Halloween Ends. All right, let's pretend for a second that I hated Halloween Ends. Oh, should I clip this out? What should I call it? What if I hated Halloween Ends? See, boom, we got a clip right there. What if I hated Halloween Ends? If I hated Halloween Ends and you loved Halloween Ends, would I say you're an asshole and you're wrong and how dare you ever like that movie? That just seems crazy to me. It really does. I don't if you like any movie or hate any movie, I don't give a shit. And I love you for liking said movie, but what I mean by I don't give a shit is it doesn't ruin my day, right? It doesn't ruin my day. I just go on with my life, and I go to freaking Tijuana Flats and I get my tacos with the refried beans and rice and the large sweet tea. I'm a little hungry right now. Jesus. At the end of the day, guys, we're all Halloween fans, okay? And I know you're automatically thinking, yeah, but they did him wrong. How could you let them do that? I don't care. I don't really care. It's the story that they wanted to tell, and I enjoyed the story. That's it. End of story. That's it. I didn't care. You hated it that they did that to Myers. It didn't bother me because it was in the framework of what they were trying to do with the story, okay? It's called Halloween Ends, all right? He's got to die, okay? The way they killed him, yeah, was it rough? Yeah, it was rough. I even needed a hug and a warm blanket, all right? But I got through it, all right? Now, I came out the other side saying that was a damn good movie, all right? By the way, guys, since we're on Halloween, just a little close-up, Nancy Keys Loomis. Look at that, guys. Hey, Drumdums, speed kills. Nancy Loomis. I can die happy now. That's really nice. Oh, and also I have to highlight this too. Can you make that out? It's yeah. There you go, guys. What does that say? There it is, right there. There it is. I'm holding it. That says "Fuck off, Drumdums." Kathleen Kinmont Kelly. Dreams do come true, people. Wow, that was insane. God, she was so nice too. All four of them that I met were. I got 4 signatures on there. I got Scott Tiller Compton on there too, and what's the 4th one I got? Andy Matichek or Andy Matichek. Andy Matichek. All 4 of them were just absolute sweethearts. So yeah. All right, this next one's called Cold as Fuck. All right, Cold as Fuck, and that's it. That's it. Can you guys tell me a kill scene that's just cold AF? Like, there's kill scenes and then there's kill scenes like that. You know? That's like, wow, that's cold. Like, you felt bad when you were watching it, you know? Because usually, like, when you see Jason, like, whapping off 3 heads, that's fun, right? That's awesome. But I felt... and there's a few in David Gordon Green's trilogy that are like that. I'd say... Dana's kill in the bathroom, man, I felt really horrible inside during that one. Chris Snyder says that was really damn brutal. I can't believe Sandra survived that, right? Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, he just stabbed her in the neck once. So, and he stabbed her in the side, I think. So maybe she could live. I don't know. But, man, that scene is freaking brutal. That's one thing I love about kills, the brutality of it, right? Bend over. Rosalia. Jesus. Yeah. Crazy. Okay, this next one. We got some Halloween ones here, guys. Okay. This is the limited edition. What was that one? The THX version of Halloween from the year 2000. And it had the TV cut. This is probably, even though I have all the 4Ks and the Blu-rays, if I could keep one Halloween physical media copy, I think it would probably be this one. Because it has the best color timing, you know? Because there's a few different color timing transfers of Halloween, and to me, I like this one the best. I do, because the blues are just really pronounced. They're really pronounced in the final act, and I love that. And I like the way the daylight scenes look, because the daylight scenes look a little artificial in the newer transfers. You can just tell the greens were pumped up a little bit too much to where it didn't feel natural. This feels like a natural transfer. And I was a little scared when I threw it on my 55-inch when I watched it recently. But it's got that, what do you call it? What do you call it when it boosts the transfer? It makes it look like Blu-ray. Upscaling, yeah. I have an upscaling, most people have an upscaling Blu-ray player, but it really made it pop. It still looked great, you know? Is it as clear as a 4K? No, but man, I just love that transfer. Okay. Next one. A couple more, guys, and then we're getting to the Danielle news, okay? Here we go. Couple more. Here we go. 86. This is somebody sent me this on Instagram, and I had to like screen cap this because this is a really unique observation that I've never heard anybody say. Yo, Drumdums, have you noticed in Halloween 6, every single person in the movie has light-colored eyes? Just a weird catch I noticed. I mean, I'm sure there's some that might have, but I mean, all our main characters, you got freaking John Strode, Kara Strode, Tommy Doyle, Dr. Loomis, right? I mean, I just say, also the brother who's got the Tim Strode pounder shirt on, he's got light eyes. The kid, Kara Strode's son, Danny, has light eyes. Crazy. Yeah, Dave Vanderhoff, Kiss the Elder was released November 10th, 1981. And I think The Elder is the last Kiss album that I bought. That's one that I was like, I got to have that in my collection. I think it's such an underrated album. I think the musicianship is actually pretty damn great on The Elder. And I think the album flows beautifully. Dave, are you a fan of The Elder? I know some people hate that album, but it's different. It's definitely, it's like, I don't know if I'd call it progressive. It's just, it's more just like a concept album, right? All the songs fit into just a single idea, a single story that Gene Simmons actually came up with. So he didn't write all the songs, but he came up with the overarching story, right? I think, I would even say maybe Paul Stanley he might have wrote the best songs on that album, but every song I think is great. I think it's great. It's not my favorite Kiss album, but it's up there in the top tier. As a matter of fact, I did a Kiss tier ranking, all the albums, a few months ago, with a buddy of mine. And it was fun. It was really fun. And I didn't even realize, because at the time I didn't know, where am I going to place the Elder, because it's just so different. But immediately, knee-jerk reaction, I was just like, yeah, it's got to go at the top. It's got to go at the top. Just because all the songs are great. And I applaud them for even like taking a big risk, you know? Brandon says, Evanescence's Fallen album is getting a 20th anniversary vinyl next week. Are you picking it up? Ooh, I should. Man, I remember, that's one of those, it's like a red letter album for me because I was in Korea. Because I was in Korea 20 years ago this year. Matter of fact, I had a band when I was there. But I remember that album came out and it just like exploded. They were huge almost immediately. And I loved that song too. And I liked the Daredevil movie. And I think that's where I discovered the band, was the Daredevil movie. So, yeah. But yeah, light eyes all through Halloween 6, guys. Okay? If somebody asks you, what is the Halloween movie with the lightest eyes out of all the characters? It's Halloween 6. All right? Here you go. A Quiet Place, Hold My Beer. This shit from Home Alone was worse than any fucking Saw movie. They did go for broke with the booby traps at the end. When I took a quick look at that at that picture, doesn't that look like a hot dog on his foot? But it's actually a broom handle. Yeah, but it looks like a hot dog on his foot, right? Am I the only one that saw that? Is this another one of those like Where's Waldo things, like the Terrifier 3 picture? But yeah. Can you imagine stepping on that nail, though? Jesus. Guys, which would you rather be a part of? Would you rather be a part of the final act of Home Alone, or pick any Saw movie, okay? Your lightest Saw movie. Give me your answer. Saw or Home Alone, okay? Which one would you like to be a part of, okay? Have you guys heard that theory that Kevin is actually... God, what's his name now? The John from Saw. Yeah. Yeah, Kevin is actually John from Saw. I've heard that theory, and it kind of checks out too. So, yeah. So you're saying you'd rather take part in... Brandon says Saw. Mike says Home Alone. At least Home Alone is at Christmas. That is true. That's very true. Do we need a Saw Christmas movie, guys? That'd be kind of fun. They could like make a Christmas tree part of the game. That'd be kind of cool. I bet Chris Snyder would like that. Erica says at least one of the Saw movies, they were given choices. Oh, but yeah, that's right. They're not given choices in Home Alone. At least they're given choices in Saw movies. But usually the choices are just the worst freaking imaginable choices you can possibly imagine. Okay? Like... if you live, you're going to lose your arms and your legs. You know, it's that type. Or if you live, you have to dig a key out of your eyeball. You know, something like that. Just I'd be just like, you know what? Just kill me. I'm done. Screw this. It's just horrible. Okay. Just take one. Guys, isn't this a great picture? Jamie Lee Curtis posted this, actually. Please take one horror VHS per child. I wish I was trick-or-treating and somebody had a bucket of VHS tapes with all those horror titles. Jesus. Hey guys, let's scope out these horror titles. Hold on. Let's blow it up. Let's see what we got, okay? Let's see which ones I don't have. Because I got a pretty good horror VHS collection. Okay, I have Psycho 2. I don't have Scanners. I got the whole Friday the 13th collection that's available on VHS. I have Child's Play. I don't think I have Creepshow or Dolls. I might have House. I'm not sure. Critters, I don't think I have. And I can't really make out some of those in the back. Guys, do any of you have like a horror VHS? If you have like horror VHSs, tell me your most valuable horror VHS. The one that you would never want to part with because it's rare, you know. What would it be? And it can include, like, I have a couple of VHSs that have signatures on them. autographs, signatures. I got Linda Blair. That's probably the one. Where's it at? No, actually, this is the one that my most prized. Yeah, this right here. We got Sleepaway Camp, and it has Felissa Rose, Catherine Kami, and Karen Fields. All three women from Sleepaway Camp signed that VHS for me. And I paid $25 for the VHS, and then I took it to Spooky Empire a few years ago, and I had them sign it. And man, that was, yeah, that's, but the Linda Blair one's up there too for The Exorcist too. Yeah. Let's see. Dawn of the Dead is my crown jewel. Ooh, that's a good one, David. Summer Slam 1988 VHS. Got a wrestling fan, Zodiac Z. Mike Cinema's all digital now. I respect that. Chris, let's see. Or did I miss one? Oh, I only have DVDs, Blu-ray Addict. I might have more VHS than I do DVD now. I used to buy VHSs before DVD cropped up in the late 90s. And after I got DVD, I sold my entire collection. No regrets, because I didn't have a big horror VHS collection back then anyway. Most of them were like, just your modern like action movies and whatnot, like Spider-Man, some Star Wars. But now I have probably I'd say maybe 80-85% horror. And I got some, I got like Rocky and Star Wars and all those too, though. But yeah, I like having a VHS collection because sometimes I'll sit up here and I'll watch something on Jolene, It's nice and cozy. Just have some popcorn, throw a VHS on in the player for Jolene. Watching the original Halloween on VHS is a cool experience. The first Terminator, that's a great movie to watch on VHS. Dave says, have you seen Maniac 2? Not yet. I do have the Blu-ray for Maniac 2 and 3. But, yeah. Davey Deathray, what's up, man? Nice to see you in here. Okay, we see. Are we done with the funnies? Let's see. We got two more. We'll real quick. Yep. This one's kind of suitable. Suitable? What's the word I'm looking for? Okay. October 31st to November 1st, it's Myers. He turns into Mariah Carey. Okay? And, man, that song that she did, All I Want for Christmas Is You, Jesus, it took off like a freaking freight train. It's like one of the biggest Christmas songs now, It is a great Christmas song, though, right? Yeah. So that's Michael Carey. What if... Oh my God, what if Mariah Carey is actually Michael Myers? Wouldn't that be crazy? What if that was the reveal? Like, what if Halloween was a whodunit, and at the end the mask comes off and it's Mariah Carey? I'm being silly. Okay. And then last one, kids can't do anything right. Look at the stitching on these Nikes, for fuck's sake. Right? And that's what you call a hand grenade joke, or like a hidden joke. It's not like, you say it and then you go, boom, and then you laugh. Oh, okay, I get it. Kids make Nikes. Okay, in other countries. All right, cool. All right. Let's jump into the Danielle Harris news. Let me go to my topical slides. Yeah, here we go. I haven't got like a thing pulled up for, I just pulled like a random image of Danielle Harris running. Is she running to the Halloween franchise? I think so. Halloween's on the other end of that. It's like they're holding the carrot and she's running to it. Okay, I guess that's the theme here. But so just to set the table for you, they just had their 100th episode of the Talk Scary to Me podcast, and there's a section in there where she talks about the Halloween franchise. She talks about hopes and dreams and putting things out into the universe and what she would like to see happen. And she does mention a word that I actually brought up, I think, on my last live stream. It might have been the last one or the one before that. But I actually brought this word up and thinking nobody else would ever bring this word up. And she brought it up. So Martin Chamberlain, thank you so much. He says, running from the director, don't ask. Could be. So with that said, I'm going to play this clip, and I'd say it's like 4 to 5 minutes, okay? But I'll probably stop it along the way to comment on some of the things. But yeah, so put on your listening ears. All right, here we go.
So basically, since our show's going to grow, we're going to do a tour next year. I'm going to have a rebirth in the Halloween franchise. You're going to get pregnant a year, 2 years after you get married. The first year you'll be married. You might be living in Kentucky or Austin. The second year you'll move to Austin, where Tom and you can open up the Austin offices of the production company that he's working for now.
Amazing.
So what she's doing there is because I think Scout asked her about, what her future hopes and dreams are, manifestations, stuff like that. And so that's what she was spouting off. That one day she started thinking about all these different things that she wants to do within the next 3 years, right? Have you ever done that? Like somebody tells you, hey, write down what you want to do in the next 3 years, okay? And which is a good exercise, actually. Let me get this super chat real quick. Riddick's Whorehouse, he says, hey, Lee, I barely get the chance to catch you live, but I'm here. Long live physical media. I want a proper sequel to Halloween 4. Boom, yes. Long live physical media for sure, and a proper sequel to Halloween 4. That's my number one Halloween wish list. I know it's selfish on my part. I know some people are like, just let it go, man. Danielle Harris has had her turn. We don't want her back. A lot of people don't want her back, but I think a lot of people do want her back too, if I'm being honest. And I brought this up a while back. She would never do a fan film. At least I don't think she would do a fan film. But if somebody were able to talk her into doing a fan film, and with a budget like we see in like big fan films these days, let's just say they wanted to raise $25,000 for Danielle Harris. And I'll ask you guys right now, would you contribute to that $25,000? Could be $5, could be $10, could be 20, whatever, whatever you donate these days to get the Blu-ray or whatever. And do you think they could raise that for Danielle Harris? For $25,000, that's just her portion of the movie. And let's say the movie has to be like $300,000. They need a $300,000 budget to make this movie, because it's a fan film budget, right? But you can make some quality freaking fan films these days that look really professional, fantastic lighting, cinematography, acting, everything across the board, music. So I'm seeing a lot of yes. I see an I don't know by Dave Vanderhoff. You wouldn't jump on that? Dude, I would throw my money at my computer. Are you kidding me? Jay Dizzler says, I would pay $2,000, no questions asked. And I guarantee you there's some people out there that would do the same. For a Danielle Harris as Jamie Lloyd, a character we haven't seen in 35 years-ish. Oh my God, I think people would jump at it. Okay, so anyway, let's listen further, okay? Listen to what she's saying, okay? Listen to what she's saying. Here we go.
Saying, ooh, what are you doing with the Halloween franchise?
Oh, yeah, I wish. I'm just praying to
just put it in the universe, man.
I didn't even start it. It started coming to me a lot over the last year, and it was like people had always kind of brought it up way before, like before Rob Zombie, like right when Rob's was starting. They were like, "Do you think he'll come back? Do you think he'll come back?" And I was like, "Oh, I would love to, but I doubt it." I don't.
Just pausing right there. I think because she's saying she was getting this stuff back as far as when she did the Rob Zombie movie. I think they were talking about Jamie Lloyd. Would you come back as Jamie Lloyd? I don't think they were necessarily saying, would you come back to the franchise as any character in general? I think people love the character Jamie Lloyd. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, for her to come back to the franchise as a different character, as Annie, I was really excited, but I wasn't as excited as I would have been for a Jamie Lloyd story. And that's just me, okay? Anyway, moving on. Here we go. Keep listening. Keep listening.
I don't know how we could do that, and it happened. I was like, put it out in the universe. Put it out in the universe. I feel like every person that comes up to me or that I talk to or that we do interviews with talks about, this new rebirth of the Halloween universe. And it's like the reason why I've existed so far before I had my family. So would I love to be part of that world in some way? Absolutely.
Have you tried to reach out to them about it?
Okay, before I hit play, I'm going to let you see, I'm giving you the tease right now. Have you reached out to them about it? Okay. Now, I got Chris Snyder. He says, and a lot of people, I guarantee, are thinking just like Chris Snyder. She got to be in 4 Halloween movies. We love her, but she's had her time in the franchise. Chris is not wrong. He's not wrong. 4 times is quite a few times to be in these movies. Granted, 2 of them, she was a child, a little child. 2 of them, she was an adult, but she wasn't Jamie Lloyd. So let's put it this way, okay? Just answer Chris. If she got to play Jamie Lloyd for all 4 of those movies, if the adult version of Danielle Harris in those last 2 movies, if she was Jamie Lloyd, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm done. I'm shutting my mouth. We had our Jamie Lloyd storyline. Let's move on. But the reason that I am constantly almost begging for a Jamie Lloyd movie is because we've only had her as a child. I want to see where Jamie Lloyd is now as an adult. Halloween 4 and really the Thorn trilogy, it means so much to me. It's like the thing that drives me about the franchise. I love that trilogy so much, and a part of it's nostalgia. I saw Halloween 4 in the theater when I was 15 years old. It was the first Halloween movie I saw in the theater. And it was the only Halloween movie to scare the living shit out of me. And part of that was because of a child. Making a child evil. And it stung. It hit me hard. And so just the idea of maybe a direct sequel to Halloween 4 in the modern day, I'm literally getting chills right now just thinking about it, And I know that there's a lot of people that don't like Halloween 4 and they don't like the Thorn trilogy, and this ain't for them. And I respect that. That's fine, okay? This is more for the people that are just like really in love with that era of the franchise, which I am. I mean, I'll even say this right now. I watch 4 probably more than the original movie, and I watch the original movie constantly. So, yeah. Okay. Well, Chris deserves a response here. Here we go. He says, Halloween 4 is my favorite in the whole franchise. I love the Thorn trilogy too. I just don't see what you do with Jamie Lloyd now after 2 sets of reboots. Would casual audiences care about Halloween 4? He does bring up a good point. This ain't going to make the money that Jamie Lee Curtis made, And I think in defense of Jamie Lloyd, Laurie Strode, the Jamie Lee Curtis version, has had her time in the sun so many times. Hell, even if you include the Scout version, that's Laurie Strode. So Laurie Strode's been in, I can't even count how many movies. All right. So Jamie Lloyd, the Danielle Harris version at least, has only been in 2 movies. So I want to see that updated version of the character. But yeah, it's not going to make the money that Jamie Lee Curtis made. And I know that. So this is a selfish thing for me. It's a selfish thing for Jamie Lloyd fans. I definitely acknowledge that. Okay. Now, here we go. Just to catch you up, she said, have you reached out to the studio? Okay. Now we continue. All right, here we go.
I mean, I messaged I emailed a couple of years ago before this was announced about, ideas that I have for a TV show and a movie. And before even like Chucky was on the air kind of thing and was like.
So she emailed about an idea for a TV show. Did I hear that right, guys? She emailed about a TV show idea even before Chucky. And she did it like while they were in the middle of this current trilogy. All right. Anyway, here we go.
Thing that everybody's doing now. And, they were in the middle of doing those 3 movies. So it wasn't like there was an opportunity to discuss it at the ideas that I have for a TV show and a movie. Part of that world in some way? Absolutely.
Have you tried to reach out to them about it?
I mean, I messaged I emailed a couple of years ago before this was announced about ideas that I had for a TV show and a movie and before even like Chucky was on the air kind of thing and was like a thing that everybody's doing now and they were in the middle of doing those 3 movies, so it wasn't like there was an opportunity to discuss it at that point. Yeah. But I don't know. I think I just would really love to see what could happen. They're talking about a multiverse, I guess. So it's like there's all these different.
Boom! Did you hear that? She literally said they're talking about a multiverse. And now that's kind of an open-ended statement. Like, are they literally talking about a multiverse for the franchise? Let me hear that again. I want to hear that again because I'm not so sure. Hold on. We're going to hear that again. Hold on.
Timelines. You've got your time, an opportunity to discuss it at that point. Yeah. But I don't know. I think I just would really love to see what could happen. They're talking about a multiverse, I guess. So it's like there's all these different timelines. You've got your timeline. I've got my timeline. Everyone's got their sort of thing.
I would love to come back too. I feel like I feel something with Andy for sure. 100%.
Okay. Yes. I think I'm taking from that the word multiverse is being thrown around in the Halloween camp. Okay? I don't think nothing's been official, nothing's been greenlit, but I think and I'm shocked myself, and I actually mentioned this idea, not saying I came up with the idea, this is just something that I would want. But I mentioned this, I think on the last stream, there's a clip that I put out about it. Would you welcome a Halloween multiverse? But that is the last thing that I ever would have thought that they would even entertain. And to me, from what she's saying, it's out there. And Danielle Harris is pretty dug into the Halloween community. It's like the mafia. Once you're part of the mafia, you're always part of the mafia, even when you're done. She will always be in the Halloween family. So I'm sure if you're in that family, especially if you're as close as they are, then you might know a little bit more than the public knows. Okay, this isn't like a bombshell, breaking news or anything like that. But she said it. She said there's talk of a multiverse and different timelines. And, how could you address that in, say, a TV series environment? And I think that's exactly the way you address it. You can't really do that in a movie, a Halloween multiverse, and I'm not talking like science fiction type deal. I'm talking about just because there's so many different timelines in the franchise, you could have an episode that's just for this timeline, an episode for this timeline. And you got Scout Taylor Compton jumping in there saying, I would love to come back. So that right there, you got at least Scout Taylor Compton saying she would come back. Of course, Danielle Harris is begging to come back. And then there's a name that they just mentioned. You heard it, Andy Matichak would love to come back to the franchise. Let's keep listening.
I don't know, I just get that sort of feeling.
That she's not done. Yeah.
Which would be really cool.
They're talking about Andy.
Really, really cool for her.
Maybe she'll come seek out her.
I just hope they're
her
great.
Aunt.
I just hope they're good.
Now that her mom said she'll come seek out her Aunt Jamie that's living in fucking God knows where to help her battle Michael Myers.
It's
okay. Now she's playing around, obviously, with that idea of Allison seeking out her Aunt Jamie. She's playing around, but that could happen. It's never said in the David Gordon Green trilogy because we know that Laurie Strode was married twice. And it's never stated if she has any more children. So as long as it's possible, then anything, it's fair game. That's what I'm trying to say. So there could literally be still a Jamie Lloyd in maybe an alternate Halloween universe. I don't know. Okay. But the idea of Allison, because she's, her story could still continue, right? Yeah, Michael Myers, as we know it, is dead, but we didn't see them take away Corey's body, all right? Now, she doesn't mention Corey. She mentions Michael Myers. So they would have to, we've had so many timelines anyway, but yeah, it just got, I don't think they're going to do that, but it definitely, it gets the wheels turning, right?
Funny, and then maybe, like you did, maybe I'll play her friend.
Yes, bitch.
How funny is that?
Yes.
It's so strange. Like, I'm really excited for all these like franchises that they're doing for all these horror movies, but for some reason I can't picture these big scale movies on TV format, especially like horror. I feel like is a movie.
Oh, really? I don't think, I think I would love to see 13 hours of something each season of like what could evolve from these characters, in that world.
I'm trying to picture it, but obviously we have to get used to it because, TV is the new movies now. Like movies.
Well, I think what has connected people with horror for so long has been the good horror has been the relationships on screen, hence you and I, or me and Ellie Cornell, or, all the dynamic of,
Okay, I'll stop it right there. I think that's enough that you need to hear, but I definitely wanted to play it until she actually said Ellie Cornell, because I think I would love Jamie Lloyd to come back, but man, if they had freaking Rachel come back with Jamie Lloyd, I would probably jump out a window. Like I couldn't stand the excitement. That's how crazy I am about that duo. And it could, if this was like a direct sequel to 4, then Rachel's still alive, and it could happen. Here's another observation I got to make about this too, okay? And another reason why I think it's not as crazy as you think it is. I think it's much more possible for something like a multiverse or even a Jamie Lloyd story to happen because of the Talk Scary to Me podcast. I think that podcast definitely has some momentum behind it. They actually stated that they probably get more comments from fans of the podcast than they do of Halloween at this point. It's a really popular podcast. It's getting bigger and bigger. They just signed a deal with Bloody Disgusting. I don't know the specifics of the deal, but I know that the Talk Scary to Me podcast, it is getting bigger and bigger, and we all know how Hollywood works. If you're it, then you're in, right? And I think if they didn't have that podcast, then they probably wouldn't even be thought about. But because of the audience that they reach now, I think it is a possibility. And it is cool that they actually met Andy Matichak, because I was always wondering, like, do they even like each other? Do they know each other? And I just went to this convention over not last weekend, but the weekend before that. I went to Spooky Empire, where they were all three there. They were actually on, like, you had Scout and Danielle on one wall, and then on the opposite end side of that wall, if you walked around the corner, there was Kathleen Kenmont and Andy Matichak and Nancy Keys Loomis. So it was like you had three there, and then you come in the turn around, and then you got Scout and Danielle. So they were all talking amongst each other. I know that Danielle talked to Andy Matichak for a good bit. I know Scout tried to, but they couldn't, because they were always busy. They couldn't get in the same place at the same time. But then Andy actually texted Scout. So, and I think Andy Matichak's still got a little bit of muscle behind her too. She's a young actress. She's a very, very good actress. And she's loved in the Halloween community. I think most people at least like Allison as a character. So just a lot to think about there, a lot to kind of mull over. And it's anybody's guess. I think a TV show is definitely coming, Now, 6 months down the line, a TV show could be completely out the window. You know how Hollywood is. You know how the Halloween franchise is. Hell, they were dead set on doing Halloween Returns, the Marcus Dunstan movie. They were dead set on doing that until they didn't. Until John Carpenter entered the fold. And then boom, okay, we're done. We're scrapping that. So 6 months down the road, they could scrap the TV idea. Who knows? So I think we're going to see some announcements within the next 6 months. That's what I think. You know, we shall see. We shall see. Exciting stuff, though, guys. Exciting stuff. You know what? Let's jump into... let me get the super chat. Jay Dislip. He says, thank you so much, sir. He says, it's pronounced JD is LA. JD is LA. Okay, thank you very much. But I'll take Jay Dislip. Anyways, Halloween 4 popped my Halloween cherry. It popped mine too. I love Jamie Lloyd. Why does Jamie Lee Curtis get to keep coming back, but not Danielle Harris? Well, I mean, I know the answer to that. She's Jamie Lee Curtis. She's an A-list actor. She literally just won an Oscar. So, I mean, that's an easy answer, but I get what you're saying. I feel your pain. I definitely feel your pain. And you just said it at the end there. Yeah, she's definitely a bigger star. She's going to put more butts in seats. That's just all there is to it. So, but I do think people are curious to know where the Halloween franchise is going to go. And I'll even say this now. Let's say we do get a Jamie Lloyd movie next, right? I think the trailer is a big selling point. Like, that trailer's got to be freaking amazing. If they come out with a Jamie Lloyd movie, trailer comes out, you got a great freaking director, okay? Like a top tier, like a Fede Alvarez, or a Mike Flanagan. I'm just throwing out, A-list directors working today, right? If this is just a dream scenario. You had a really competent, great director with a great cinematographer. You got a phenomenal writer. Everything lines up perfectly because Halloween. They got Halloween money now. They can afford these things. And hell, they might not even they might not even be too mad about Danielle Harris coming back because they don't have to pay her as much as they paid. Like say a Jamie Lee Curtis, right? And everything. The dollars they matter. And we don't have to pay her that much. Okay, yeah, maybe we entertain this a little bit. But if that trailer comes out, you got a Myers that looks freaking racked and stacked. The mask is like the greatest freaking mask we've seen in ages. If all this comes together, I think people would show up. I really do. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think people would show up. I do. Because people always state that it's make or break because of Danielle Harris, but I think there's a lot more factors to it than just Danielle Harris. Okay, I think you freaking get a crew that is just top notch. That this movie's going to be directed beautifully. I think a lot of people would show up. I really do. At the end of the day, give us a great movie. If it's a great movie, then yeah. And wouldn't that be like an awesome comeback story too? Kind of like what Quentin Tarantino did with John Travolta. What if this it was a huge hit and all of a sudden Danielle Harris is like a big star again? That'd be insane. That'd be quite insane, actually. Okay, enough of my dreaming. All right, let's go over to topical slides. Let's take Danielle off of there. First off. Huge shout out. I posted on X. Give me a top 10 idea for this live stream. And if you give me an idea and I choose it, then I will name it after you, which is what I did in the title of this video. So FanFilmFan came up with this awesome idea. What about top 10 multi-kill scenes in horror movies? For example, the bus scene in the newest Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, the raft scene in The Burning, the pool scene in Nightmare 2, and damn it, he's spoiling it for me. Okay, so yeah, you get the idea. All right, I didn't read his choices. I read up to his Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie choices, and I was like, I already like the idea. I don't need to read anymore. All right, so I got a title up here too. Here we go. Yeah, so one scene, multiple kills. All right, so let's go with this first one here. And yeah, you're going to see a couple of franchises mentioned twice. Okay. But yeah, let's go with the Lab Massacre from Halloween 6. And guys, is that an image that you have ever seen before of the Lab Massacre? It's a pretty badass image, isn't it? And I kind of just accidentally, because what I did was I have like Blu-ray rips of all the Halloween movies. And I couldn't find a good image on Google of the Lab Massacre. So I was like, you know what? I'll just pull up my my digital copy. And I'm just flipping through, because the Lab Massacre, it's very strobe-like, you know. And I'm just, you know, I keep hitting the space bar to find a good, and I was like, oh shit, look at that image. That's badass. I like that. So, yeah. So, the Lab Massacre, man, that's one of the most psychotic scenes in the franchise up to that point too. You know, because Halloween 6, I just like how crazy that movie gets, you know. It's almost like psychedelic. Even the plot is a little whacked out and crazy, but the cinematography is insane. And I just like that Lab Massacre scene was such a big surprise. I didn't expect something like that, where Myers is just slaying, you know, a whole bunch of doctors in lab coats. And that scene wasn't even in the producer's cut, which is crazy to me. You know, because there's people that prefer the producer's cut, but man, that scene's any cut, it's got to be in there. The Lab Massacre. That is an iconic freaking scene. So, okay, so. Again, the reason I chose the Lab Massacre is because Michael kills quite a few assholes in that room. All right, that's going to be the running theme throughout this whole list. Great idea by FanFilmFan for sure. All right, next one. Hellraiser 3. Now you're probably going to see a couple of nightclub scenes on here, but I think Hellraiser 3 might be my second favorite. And I think Hellraiser 3 is like, if you want to just have a fun time, I think Hellraiser 3 is like the popcorn movie of the franchise. I think it's got a lot of great variety in like the color palette of the movie, the cinematography. Pinhead has some really, really fun moments, some fun lines. He might have some of the coolest lines in 3, actually. But yeah, you could tell Doug Bradley was having a good time in this movie. I actually really enjoy Hellraiser 3. I did see this one in the theater when it came out, you know? You know, and I think this one, it definitely feels 90s. It's got that 90s vibe to it. You got great 90s music in the movie. It gets a little silly at the end, too, with the Cenobites, and you got, like, the one that's got, like, a compact disc head, you know? But this freaking nightclub scene, man, it's bloody and graphic, and you know, people are dying in the best you know, Cenobite and Pinhood fashion, and it's just really fun. I think I watched the first one and the third one the most, if I'm being honest. I think the second one's a little bit too it's really dark. It's really dark. It's good. I love the second one, but I think the third one is the one that's more fun, more accessible, right? Okay. Next one, of course, Halloween Kills. And this list has no order, by the way, guys, okay? Because this scene right here might top the list. It might be the best freaking scene as far as, like, multiple kills in one scene. I think it might be the best. It just, I mean, everything coming together. They literally set a house. That's a house that's really on fire, a controlled fire. You know, no CGI bullshit. And then you got Myers, you know, soaked, coming out of the house. And it's just one of the most badass freaking scenes I've ever seen in my life. It's just, you know, I love that in Kills, they gave us the most badass Myers, right? The most balls. You want a balls to the wall Myers that's believable. Like, that guy could freaking just slay everybody. Halloween Kills, you know? And so maybe that's why I get why they didn't go that route in Halloween Ends, because it's not that type of movie. Let's give them the Michael Myers movie that will make him look like the coolest horror icon ever. He will take the mantle in this movie, you know? And man, that scene right there just cements it. Wow. Yeah, what a scene. What a scene. All right. Next one. Can anybody tell me what that one is? And I'm gonna confession here. The Werewolf Orgy and Trick or Treat. Oh my God, Brandon, that is a great one. Wow. Holy shit. If I clip this out, which I will clip this out, I'll put a picture of that on there because I'm glad you mentioned that. That is a fantastic pick. The Werewolf Orgy. Yeah. Love that scene. But yeah, this is Ghost Ship. And I don't remember the movie at all. I haven't seen it in ages, but you can't not forget the opening scene. It is a legendary, iconic kill scene. Just this. What is that, guys? Is it just like a wire that just comes through the ship and just freaking cuts everybody in half to bits? Yeah, really badass scene. And I think the scene is so good that it kind of overtakes the movie. Because like I said, I don't remember anything else about the movie. I just remember that. All right. Next one. Let's go with some Freddy versus Jason. Really, really fun scene out in the. Is that a cornfield? I think it's a cornfield. But let's put Jason out there and let's have him just completely hack and slash everyone. Tons of teens. I don't even know what the correct body count is for this scene. It's got to be. It might be. I'd say maybe 20, 30. And I'd say as far as like single scenes, because I know that some people mentioned Friday Part 6 when he chops off the 3 heads. That would definitely count. But this right here, man, you get it all in one shot. He was just cooking fools in this scene, And I think this is the scene that every time Kane Hodder watches this movie, this is where he cries. He could have been in that scene, and he would have loved that, right? Yeah, what a great! I automatically love the movie just because of this scene. Freddy vs. Jason is a really, really fun movie. They really nail Freddy. Freddy is like, this is like a swan song for Robert Englund. What a great send off for the character to put him up against Jason, and he's arguably in his best form, right? Would you guys agree with that? Like, if he's not this best, I think he's top 3 Freddy in Freddy vs. Jason. He has the right amount of dark and serious with some comic relief. I think he's still creepy. Like that scene in the bathroom with Brendan Fletcher. That's full on creepy Freddy. The scene with Catherine Isabel in the locker. That's full on serious Freddy. Yeah. Yeah, I love Freddy vs. Jason. It's a really fun movie. And you know what? I don't hate Jason. He does what Jason is supposed to do in the movie. Is he the best Jason? Far from it. But he serves his purpose, okay? He serves his purpose. All right. Next one. It is Carrie, of course. If this is top 3 material for sure. This is iconic, and I think it's a great, like, this is the bully movie of the countdown, right? You feel so bad for this character. She's constantly being picked on. And I tell you, high school girls, they can be really mean. I don't think my daughter would mind me telling you. She went through this when she was in middle school. When she was in middle school, there were a group of girls that they tried to make her life a living hell, and she rose above it. And she, plus she's got a mother that knows how to deal with these things. And she told her, this is what you say to her when she does this shit to you again. Because it started getting illegal. Okay, let's just put it that way. Some illegal shit started happening. And I was sad, obviously, because my daughter was crying. But I was also like, okay, now that you've crossed that line, we can take action. Okay, because, it's the saddest thing. And Rosalie, I'm so sorry that you were bullied. I know a lot of us have dealt with this. But there's that line there that some bullies, they know I can't cross this line. If I go this far, then they can take action. But if I stay within these confines, I can get away with I could get away with this for as long as I want. A lot of bullies, they know this stuff. So when they did this, we told my daughter, you tell her tomorrow that if she says another word about you, you will be kicked out of the school. So we gave her a chance. If I hear one fucking word out of your mouth again, and my name better not be in your mouth, then you will be out of the school. I guarantee it. You will be out of the school. That girl never said my daughter's name again. She never said a word to her because my daughter put the fear of God in her. Okay? Sometimes you don't have to use your fists, right? Sometimes you can use your mind. And that's what she did. So that's a true story. And I was really proud of her. I was really proud of her. Okay? Because she went through a lot of heartache during that period, It's tough when you see your daughter come home crying. As parents, you want to fight their battles. You want, it's silly to say, but say if your son's getting picked on by another bully kid, just for a slight moment, a dad wants to beat the shit out of a little kid, but not really. But just a slight little moment, you want to grab that kid like she does in Hand the Rocks the Cradle. And you want to say, don't you fucking touch my kid. You can't help it. You can't help it. So Amber says, I was bullied in both middle school and high school. To people can be cruel at any age. Yes, very true, Amber. Very, very true. It's an ugly thing. It's a really ugly thing. But then, you get movies like Carrie that you screwed with the wrong person, and not saying this is the right thing to do. I'm just saying it makes for a great scene in a horror movie, okay? And the great Brian De Palma, man, I freaking love Carrie. Just because I love the story, Stephen King, but I also I'm a De Palma nut, and I loved his direction of this movie. I still haven't reviewed Carrie yet, which is crazy. I need to, and I have the freaking Shop Factory. I think I got a couple copies of Carrie. I've been wanting to review it forever, and I went through a De Palma phase there, and I reviewed Body Double, and I reviewed Blowout, and I just, oh my God, those movies are it's fun to talk about his movies. So I'll definitely be reviewing Carrie soon. All right, next one, we got The Burning. This is top 3 material. Oh my God. Now I'll say if there's any scene that could possibly beat Halloween Kills on this list, it might be the raft scene. It probably is the raft scene. Ooh, David Thorson, good one. The pool scene and Let the Right One In. Oh my God, my favorite vampire movie, by the way. Fantastic scene. Fantastic scene. Why do I got my freaking headphones in? But yeah, I like that, they're just on the raft and it's nice and calm. They did this a lot in the 80s. They did it with the original original Friday the 13th at the end, when she's on the boat. And they don't have like a build-up or anything. And this can work too. But yeah, there's no build-up to it. They're just like on the water, on the raft, and then all of a sudden the killer just pops up out of nowhere. And you could kind of compare this to the Friday the 13th. And I just had this thought. The very end of Friday the 13th, Jason pops up and then, boom, that's it. We don't show you what happens after, if he were to kill her or not. And they're not wrong. It was so effective, and it was just the visual. The visual. He looked so creepy. We hadn't seen Jason at all throughout the entire movie. So that was the first time we saw him. So that's why that worked. This one, he pops up, but you need a little bit more, And so they literally show a massacre, and he kills every kid on the raft. And, back in 1980 or 81, yeah, back in 1981, when it wasn't that easy to do this shit, Tom Savini, man, the work Tom Savini did on that scene is just, he's God level. He's amazing. Okay, next one. How many more we got? How many more we got? We got 1, 2, 3 more. 3 more. Okay. Next one. This is, tell me what that movie is, guys. Okay? Tell me what that movie is. Now, I will say, a lot of people mentioned another movie, and I was like, nope. And it's the same kill. The other movie is Friday the 13th Part 2, which has this kill, but you don't really, it doesn't show anything. You know, you just see the reaction of the character. You see him holding the spear, and then you see the reaction of the characters, and then you see the spear come out the bottom of the bed. This one, like all Italian horror, they show you the goods. They show you the goods, and it's just glorious. This is the reason why I love freaking Italian horror. Bay of Blood, Twitch of the Death Nerve, you know, pick your title for this movie. I prefer Twitch of the Death Nerve, if I'm being honest. As a matter of fact, I wish my Blu-ray said Twitch of the Death Nerve instead of Bay of Blood, but you take what you can get, right? But man, what a movie. And I'd say this might be the first slasher of its type, you know, because it feels like a camp slasher. And like all Italian horror movies, it has a what the fuck ending. Like, why did that happen? You know, you don't ask questions. It's Italian horror, and it's okay. It's great. But Friday the 13th Part 2, this isn't the only kill that they copied. They copied 3 kills from Bay of Blood. That's almost a crime. 3 kills they copied from Bay of Blood, because there's a wheelchair kill in Bay of Blood. And then there's a machete to the face, across the face. So that's pretty much a double kill in Friday the 13th Part 2, because it's the wheelchair guy, and he gets killed with a machete across the face. So they split those two ideas apart for Bay of Blood. Am I making sense? If you've seen both movies, you know what I'm talking about. Okay? Yeah. All right. 2 more. Here we go. Another nightclub kill. Of course, the collection. Really gnarly freaking scene, because you had this, like, what would you call it? Like a tiller or something like that. They're in this nightclub and everybody's dancing, and the collector, he's standing up above, and he sets up this trap, and it's this giant freaking, what would you guys call that? I don't know. Any farmers in here? It's like a tiller or something. And it just like slays. It's pretty much like Ghost Ship. You know, it's very similar to Ghost Ship, except it's on steroids, right? But yeah, love this movie to death. I think this one's even better than The Collector, and I love The Collector. Okay? So, yeah. A Combine. Yeah, I think you're right, Zodiac. Combine. Franck? Yeah. It does suck that The Collected was scrapped. And they shot some stuff, which is crazy. So that's just scrapped footage, you know, because it's been too long, and they can't start shooting again and then reuse that footage. I mean, they could, but I think it would be noticeable because, you know, the way people age, you know, hairdos, all that. I don't know. Okay. Last but definitely not least, is Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, the pool scene. I love Part 2 to death anyway. And you know what? You could actually say the opening school bus scene as well, which happens to be one of my all-time favorite horror movie scenes. What the hell? Damn it. Hold on, guys. So yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. Man, this is such a unique movie. It like stands apart from the rest of the franchise. I just like how Freddy, he manipulates Jesse, and he doesn't really do that with any other character throughout the franchise. He kind of messes with Brendan Fletcher's character in Freddy vs. Jason, but not to this level. And I just love Mark Patton's performance. I think his performance is highly underrated in this movie, although he does scream a lot, and he does kind of have a funny scream, but still, man, he can handle emotion quite well. And when he breaks down, Jesus, insane. But yeah, I got to mention the school bus scene too. Like I said, one of my all-time favorite scenes. I can't remember, but I might have seen Nightmare 2 before I saw the first one. You know, this was 1985. VHS had been around for a couple of years, but 85 is when I think we got our first VCR in my house, my family. And you remember those VCRs that had the pop top, you know, and you slide it in and you drop it? Man, I miss those days. And yeah, one of the first movies I ever rented, because you couldn't dare buy a VHS movie back then. They were like $100. It's crazy. But one of the first movies I ever rented was Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. And it was so freaking fun. And I just loved the opening of that movie, you know? Just the idea of like being on this school bus. Because there's something creepy about school buses anyway. Am I right, guys? And then in this dream, and then, you know, how it just keeps speeding up. That's another scary thing. You know, you're in any vehicle. And if you're not driving the vehicle, A, you don't have control. And then B, it starts speeding up, you know? And so you're like, oh my God, I don't have any control. I'm going to die. What's going to happen? Right. And then they end up in this freaking like dreamlike world where you got this, I don't even know what you would call it. You know, it's like this desert type terrain, and they're like teetering on top of this stem in the middle. And then Freddy just comes and he's like ripping the seats with his knives. Oh man, what a great scene. What a great scene. And I love at the end of the movie too, when they're on the school bus again and Freddy's hand comes out of her chest. Yeah, they don't make movies like that anymore. Yeah. But yeah, that was it, guys. That was a fun freaking list. I think I'll save the annoying characters of horror, because I need at least a good 30 minutes to break that down, okay? Because I got a lot of them that I want to mention. I got a list, and I think we'll cover those next time, all right? So I think that's going to wrap up this DD Live. Thank you all for stopping by. I had such a great time. And, you know, I'll probably hit you guys up for topic ideas and stuff like that. So if you have an X account, Twitter account, I guess, you know, pay close attention to my my handle, because I might be asking you guys for ideas, okay? Because I love your ideas. You guys always think outside the box. You're smarter than me, and I like to just jump on those ideas when you give them to me, okay? You guys are the reason why my channel does well. It really is. It really is. I really enjoy your feedback, your ideas, and I have so much fun discussing your topics. So, yeah, I'll definitely be doing that, okay? But, yeah, anyway, guys, take care of each other. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We got the holidays coming up. Be safe. Oh, yeah, I'm going to a screening of Thanksgiving on Tuesday. Eli Roth's new movie. Really looking forward to that. So I'll have to look and see when the embargo is, but I'll get a review out on that as soon as the embargo lifts. I'm hoping it lifts Tuesday night. I'm thinking it's probably Wednesday though. Okay. So yeah, but anyway, guys, love you to death. Take care of each other. Thanks for another